the Elder for the opening prayer. I'd like to thank Val and Chief Cameron and Chief Belrose for their comments. It really kind of set the stage, I guess, for some of the issues that we're talking about today, and to bring some of the challenges that a lot of the technicians are aware that leadership have to face in trying to balance out. Tribal councils generally do a training, inspections kind of role in this, the EHOs. But then we have a missing piece on the technical side. And one of the issues that Chief Belrose brought up is the difficulty in finding spare parts, difficulty in finding operators who know how to work systems in different communities. That's due to the ad hoc kind of project development system that INAC has. They have a lot of influence on who the project managers are, who the engineers are. And what you end up is with this mishmash of different systems across the entire province. Some, you've only got like one person in the entire province who knows how to work these systems in some cases. It makes it very difficult to go on vacation, and if something does go wrong, it's a bit of a needle in a haystack in some cases trying to find spare parts. So, in other cases, the systems aren't totally suitable for the type of groundwater that's being treated. There's one First Nation in the south. The water comes out of the plant okay. It ends up, just because of all the chemical hoo-ha that goes on, and see, I'm an expert. Like, I worked in housing for 12 years. Ended up in environmental health in June 1st, and then the oil spill happened in July. So that was kind of my baptism there. This is oil spill. So I'm not gonna. I think the word precipitate is involved, and there's I think magnesium is involved too. So anyway, the point is. The water ended up brown at the end of the line. So you've got the plant on one side treating, this design which isn't completely suitable to the groundwater, and then you've got this very long, low pressure water line. Water sits in there for a while. At the end of the line, water comes out of the tap brown. So this is a result of this ad hoc kind of approach here, and we have the opportunity to address this through the development of regulations, through making sure that there's some numbers attached to it to do proper, so we can actually carry out, the things that are required in these regulations. And so, anyway, we've got a potential for a technical service co-op between the tribal councils to be able to do that higher level stuff. So, we've got 16 these eyebrow plants. We've got a few more on the design I always want to use water analogies when we talk water, so it's in the pipe. You got to use that analogy, so it's tempting. It's so tempting. Anyway, so we've got the opportunity to move forward. Any new plant that comes out, we've got the opportunity to lobby for it to be an eyebrow design. We know there's advantages to it. We know that it's becoming the standard. So if it has the opportunity, if it can create world-class, World Health Organization level water out of any sort of groundwater, any sort of water that we have in Saskatchewan, if it's relatively the same between the plants, the actual mechanics of it, then all of a sudden you can cross-train your workers. All of a sudden you can have somebody from one band is able to go and sub in for somebody in another band if they need to go on vacation. If you need to have spare parts, all of a sudden you can have a central buyer for spare parts. You can have them on a truck and deliver it out in less than a day. You don't have to wait weeks. You can certify the plants, certify the operators. When it comes to developing regulations, if all your plants are the same technology, creating the same quality of water, World Health Organization quality water, doesn't that stand to reason? That would probably simplify, how you're going to develop your regulations, how you're going to put them in place. So these are, this is an opportunity to address a whole slew of issues, at one go. But it's going to take people to, think a little bit past where we are, and just a big sky thinking. This is what we can do. And we have the opportunity to do all of this in-house ourselves. We don't really have to go outside. Once we set this up, it's all First Nations, all self-contained. We'll have eyebrow systems that are creating much better water than the municipalities. And then we'll have all our people who are, the experts on this system in the province, able to go and, do work in the RMs, able to go and do work in the municipalities. Like, we know that our reserves aren't going anywhere in the RMs. RMs are kind of drying up. Small towns are drying up. So where's the service people, where the technicians going to come from to go and work on infrastructure in the small towns going forward? My contention, and a lot of other people see the opportunity too for First Nations, to be the anchors for rural Saskatchewan going forward. So these are all things that we can address with this, and there is benefit for everyone as well, right? So this is one of the things that I think is probably a pretty good discussion that we need to have on this going forward. But yeah, I've already touched on this, haven't I? Yeah, I have. So
Yes. Just a couple minutes because we've got there's some folks going to the water treatment.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, get me going. I tell you. So anyway, I'll skip past this one because I've covered a lot of it already. But I just wanted to highlight another issue, another thing that we need to bear in mind as well. When we talk about the process for the review, at FSN we're saying it needs to happen in conjunction with First Nations, with the tribal councils through our consultation process that has been approved by the Chiefs and Assembly. In addition to that, we need Government of Canada to be involved in this. It can't just be here's our report at the end of consultation, and they just go, oh, thanks, and then they just go and do their own thing. I think we're past that. We can't. We're not getting anywhere with this type of approach. SAS Research Council, we have a long-standing relationship with them as far as their water testing. We think that there's a role for them to play as well with their expertise. Obviously, the U of S. How many grad students are there? I just want to ask. Can you raise your hands? Grad students. Can I see a few timid hands poking up? Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of and professors too. There's a lot of education in this, and I'm glad that you've all showed up. So you get a chance to kind of get that high-level overview that will inform your studies, your thinking on projects as you move into your career. I think that's very important as well. Global Water Futures, it's another initiative, 77 million given to the U of S for this Global Water Futures from the government. Absolutely, we want them involved in this. David Suzuki Foundation. FSIN and David Suzuki Foundation signed an MOU in 2013. Just a couple months ago, we got the terms of reference for an advisory group set up. So yeah, I got to have breakfast with that guy a couple weeks ago, and he's looking forward to working on some water issues with First Nations here. He's not a fan of Bradwell, as you're aware, nor the approach of the previous governments. So we have a pretty strong ally in there as well. So. And then we have our own institutions as well. There's another resolution passed at the FSN Assembly yesterday looking to do resource development project monitoring through the Natural Resource Center of Excellence. So we look forward to working with them as well on developing the Environmental Protection Act, and figuring out how we can work together with different service providers on this, and making sure that we're on the same page as far as having some blanket regulations in place. That's the thing, we have the opportunity to pick and choose, what do we want to include, what don't we, that's the thing, it's a beautiful thing right now, like it's wide open, but we have some direction, we have a need, and it's wide open. So, like Chief Cameron says, this is where we need to work together, and come up with something that works for everyone. So, with that, thank you. Yeah, so there's my contact information. Feel free to get a hold of me. This process depends on input from everyone, and that's our job, is to take that input from FSN and move it forward through our processes. So yeah, feel free. This is